Hey guys, kinggath here with another patch for Sim Settlements 2. This is patch 1.0.9, which I'm calling Where There's Smoke. And if that rings a bell or gets you excited, that is because we have a fix for the quest Where There's Smoke. It's been in the mod for several patches now, and we finally were able to replicate and stomp that out. But we'll talk about more of that in a minute because it does deserve being talked about. So first up, we got to thank our patrons. You guys are just continue to come to the page and are making this really, really fun and exciting because we get to do stuff that we wouldn't have been able to afford otherwise. So I'm going to give a shout out to a few of you. If I don't get to you, I think I'll probably get to you by next video that I do these shout outs because I think I'm finally going to catch up to the full list, which is good. I prefer to be shouting out to you guys as close to real time as possible. So shout outs to Eric Holmes. Ooh, here comes the butcher. Migliorini Sandy, Dreyer, Andrew Felcher, Kim Volgamore, James Dock, and DC. Thank you all, and thank you everybody else who's been contributing in various ways. Really, really appreciate it. It shows me that you guys care about this mod a lot if you would throw cash at it. It's nuts to me that so many people have, and so thank you guys. All right, let's get into the patch notes. So talking about Where There's Smoke. So Where There's Smoke has been one of those quests where a lot of people have struggled with it because there is something that we do that's a little unique. And there are a couple of mods that aren't compatible with that. And it happens in two different locations. We do something very unique. And so there's multiple mods that end up causing conflicts with these things. And I'm trying to talk about this vague to avoid spoilers for those of you guys who haven't played it yet. But it's a very cool quest. But again, some people have gotten stuck on it. So I knew that those conflicts were out there, and then reports started coming in about the quest, and they kind of got ignored, assuming that they were these common issues. Well, when people started looking into them in the last 4 or 5 weeks, we realized that no, this was a different issue, but we couldn't replicate it. And finally, somebody was able to replicate it right before 1.08 came out, but it was too close to the wire for me to catch it and do something about it in time. And then when I finally did figure it out and get it fixed, it was just a few days ago. So it was too late to hot fix it at that point. So it's in 1.09. So my apologies to all you guys who've been stuck on that quest or banging your heads against it. That is something I don't like to see. Main quest stuff tends to get high priority. Now, to make sure that this doesn't happen again, well, it's not going to happen again because we have stopped most of the bugs. I know you guys are going to find that hard to believe and are probably like, ha, rolling your eyes. It just works Todd Howard style. No, basically what I mean is the issues list that the team collects and puts together and gets on my plate, things that are verified, we have knocked it down to just a couple of actual issues. Most of the stuff that's still on my list is quality of life things or like little edgy polished stuff, nothing that we would consider like a game-breaking bug. There's only 2 remaining things that I consider pretty crucial to getting fixed, and that those will be prioritized next. But what that means is that as reports come in and are verified, they're going to get fixed very, very quickly. Sometimes these fixes could sit on the known issue report for months because I only have so much time in a day to do bug fixes. So you guys can anticipate that as people are able to verify bugs and give, replicatable steps, I'll be able to knock them out. It's basically the next patch, assuming that they come in shortly after the previous patch. So that's good news. That means we're going to have bug fixing is going to be much more snappy, I guess we'll say. Okay, so let's talk about snaps because Wasteland Reconstruction Kit has some issues that people have been reporting, and I want to talk about them because I don't think people realize that this is Wasteland Reconstruction Kit, and I have an idea for a solution, but I need your guys' help. I need some crowdsourcing of finding these issues. So if you stumble upon something strange in the world, such as something with weird collision, or you find NPCs are not pathing through something that you think they should, and you figure it out to be a specific item in the world, well, if you have the mod Better Console F4SE, when you click on that model, it'll tell you what its name is, and on the lower right-hand side, it will show you what's called the base form ID. And if you guys can find those models for me that are doing that, and if you find that disabling Wasteland Reconstruction Kit fixes those things for you, it might be due to one of our mesh replacers. So one of the things we did with Wasteland Reconstruction Kit is we put mesh replacers in for vanilla items that add snaps to them. They don't do anything else to them. They're just to add snaps. So that way, people who are building with Wasteland Reconstruction Kit get access to the snaps, and then the vanilla version of the model will work just fine for players. So this allows us to add a lot of snaps to new things without adding a bunch of bulk to Sim Settlements. We don't have to add the actual NIF files because they can just exist with the snaps here. So the benefit to that is especially strong for Xbox players because when it comes to city plans, which, as you guys know, the city plan contest just launched again, so we're looking forward to a lot of city plans. For Xbox players, this is a huge deal to be able to save that space. But if there are any of these model files that are causing problems, I can basically move them into Sim Settlements and create new forms so they're not replacing or messing with vanilla forms at all. So I just need help discovering which ones, because I know it's not very many of them. It's going to be very few, because otherwise we would just have nonstop bug reports about this. It's just occasionally they come up. So, but I know those of you guys who have been having them, I'm looking for help to try and figure out the specific ones that are problematic, because the space saving technique that this allows is huge, and I'm not going to throw it out the window, but I would like to at least eliminate these problems that are being caused in other parts of your game world. That's not acceptable. So we need to get those fixed. You guys can help. All right, the other thing to talk about with other mods outside of Sim Settlements 2 is Workshop Framework. Got a little update today. Please go grab that as well. You'll be reminded in game shortly after you boot up as well, if you are not on the matching version that Sim Settlements 2 expects. And then in Sim Settlements 2, we have a couple other things briefly worth talking about. One is the beacon code has been improved. So if you guys haven't gotten to it already, there are multiple different ways to unlock the various beacons. One of them is the salvage beacons. They or basically an alternative to salvage beacons that's in Sim Settlements 2. And then we have the new Mark 1 beacon system. And both of those had a similar issue where, due to the way I happened to program the code for it to detect whether or not you have a caravan plot and a communications plot, that it was very unreliable. Well, Pra has dug into my code and found some alternate ways to approach it that seem to be much more reliable. So you should find going forward after this patch that beacons will be a little more usable. Now, what I would recommend you guys do is go to your caravan plots and refresh them to make sure that this new code thing takes effect, and to make sure that it knows about your caravan workers. So if you like using beacons or you want to give them another try, go wander around your settlements and refresh the caravans to make sure that it has access to the way we store the data in them, to make sure that you get reliable beacons. So that one I think will be a huge quality of life thing to some of you. Might turn that beacon system from an irritation to a wonderful feature, because I think it's a really cool feature. It has a lot of power to it, but it was a little bit sketchy in its reliability sometimes. So that should be resolved, and we're going to continue to improve it if you guys find additional issues with it. And then in a similar vein, or something that led me over to there, is one of the things that the beacons were responsible for is discoveries. They could allow you to discover some new building plans. Well, there were a few of the building plans that, while I liked them being part of the discovery system for the fact that they were thematically appropriate there, I don't like the fact that they gate so much content way too deep into the mod. So going forward with this patch, the brewery, the new Bugle, which is our newspaper, and the magazine press, which allows for our custom magazines, are no longer buried behind the discovery system. Instead, they will automatically be unlocked when you unlock the production class of industrial. So if you haven't gotten to that, you'll get to that soon. But if you've already had it unlocked, if you already got that production class, or if you used the cheat holotape to unlock all the building plans, these should appear a few minutes after you boot up this patch. You should have those in your list. And those will, and I did that because those are a ton of content. There's the brewery has a whole ton of recipes. It has a character attached to it that will show up at your settlement after you build it. The newspaper system is really designed to be up and running as quickly as possible so that you can read all these articles about what your character is doing. And then the magazine press, we've got all these wonderful works of art by our graphic artists. And on top of not only our own team's work getting buried behind stuff that a lot of people aren't going to see, but there's also the add-on system where people can inject into those. I want to make sure add-on makers' work gets seen as well. So anybody who's looking to inject into those, you can be confident that players will get access to that stuff relatively quickly, either by just engaging in the system or using the cheat holotape. They'll have access to get to those things pretty quickly without having to go out and do missions out in the world, which is what previously would have been required due to the discovery system. So those are no longer discoveries. Those 3 buildings are just part of the production class now. I mentioned this already, but I'll say it again because I'm really excited about it. But the city plan contest is going on right now. So if you are interested in trying your hand at making a city plan for Sim Settlements 2, it's really, really easy. I posted a 5-minute video. We've stripped down most of the rules. We've made our assistant mod do most of the work for you. All you have to kind of do is design a settlement, and the rest is almost entirely automated. It's basically just a matter of scrapping some items, hitting the export button thanks to Workshop Framework, and we made a web tool that makes the actual mod file for you. It literally could not be easier. to do a city plan now. So I'm loving the new stuff we've got prize-wise. We've got more prizes than ever. We've got more games. We've got a custom Vault Boy piece of merch we're giving out to the top 3. So really excited to see more people jump into the city plan contest. So I've seen there's already some people who have posted that they're entering the contest on our forums. There's at least one entry already up available on Nexus. You guys could go play with yourselves right now. Very excited about that. And the other thing I'm excited about is I'm doing a live stream. I guess by the time you guys hear this, will be tomorrow. So Saturday, 7 p.m. Central Time. I will be live streaming for several hours. So in the past, when I've live streamed, it's turned into these 5-hour marathons. But basically, I'll go through a little presentation. Going to show you guys some of the SS2 gameplay, talk about some of the stuff that maybe hasn't been clear in the documentation, or that maybe little tips you guys hadn't figured out yet, stuff like that, and probably play through a little bit of the main quest, and then open it up to Q&A, and I'll answer all your guys' questions about whatever you may want to know. Now, I'm not going to spoil a bunch of stuff about Chapter 2 or anything, but I'm happy to talk about some of the mechanics that are going on, and some of the vague things about where we're headed. I don't want to spoil story stuff, but I can probably talk about some of the stuff that's coming. So if you're interested in being a part of that, it'll be on YouTube. I generally try to dual stream to Twitch, but I've had very sketchy luck with that with the tools I have available, but we'll try. But either way, 100% I'll be on YouTube, 7 p.m. Central Time till I want to say I'll go at least 3 hours. Could end up being 5 hours, depends on how engaging you guys all are with me. If you're asking me lots of questions, we'll keep going, and then it'll go till I pass out, I guess. So looking forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. This live stream is gonna kind of fill the place of the in-depth series of videos until I have a chance to do those. Likely the in-depth series for Sim Settlements 2 isn't going to happen until after either Chapter 2 or Chapter 3 for the mod is released, so quite a while, just because I know some of the core mechanics will be adjusting, and I don't want to have to go re-record those videos, and I just don't have the time as much. If you guys haven't noticed, I haven't even had time to do my forever Let's Play, so it's no longer feeling so forever, and a lot of my YouTube content has gotten cut just because lack of time, and I'd rather put all my available time into developing the mod rather than producing a bunch of YouTube content. So I'm hoping that with this live stream plus our wiki team that we've recently assembled, who are crushing it, there's a lot of new information going up on the wiki lately, that we'll be able to get you guys all the information you need to play and enjoy every feature of the mod. All right, now we can't end the video without giving away or attempting to give away a t-shirt. So as always on my patch note videos, I'm going to give you guys a hashtag, and if you comment below and include this hashtag, I will draw one of your names at random tomorrow, and I will hook you guys up with the t-shirt if you get back to me within 24 hours. So the hashtag for today's video is going to be hashtag city plan. I think I just used something similar to that recently, but I don't care. I'm so excited about city plans. We've got Rise of the Commonwealth right around the corner. We've got the city plan contest underway. So hashtag city plan. If you're interested in winning a t-shirt, make sure you include more than just that hashtag as part of your comment. Tell me a story about something you happened to you in Sim Settlements, or something you love about it, something you hate about it, a bug, whatever, just something to entertain me so that I'm not just getting spammed by a bunch of this exact hashtag. So hashtag city plan if you're interested in getting a Sim Settlements piece of merch. All right, guys, with all that said, take care and enjoy the mods.